Hello, readers and fellow book lovers. It's your hostess, 11 Goddess, welcoming you back to the Goddess Garden Book Club Chat Reading Challenge. 28 books in 28 days. I don't know why I almost said 26, but 28 books in 28 days in the month of February. That's what we're going to be doing. That's how many I'm going to be reviewing. I've been busy. Now we're on book 6. Yay! And I have a powerful, life altering read for you today. We're going to do a deep dive into Toni Morrison's Beloved. Beloved is a story set after the Civil War in the 1870s, an era still thick with the echoes of slavery. We follow a formerly enslaved woman struggling to forge a new life for herself and her surviving daughter in Cincinnati, Ohio. Within these pages, we see characters who also escape from Sweet Home Plantation, grappling with their own scars, and the matriarch who fought for spiritual and emotional freedom for her country. Toni Morrison's writing is both poetic and unflinching as she tackles this taboo subject, the brutal lengths a mother might go to in order to protect her child from the horrors of enslavement. One of the extraordinary things about Beloved is how it insists we remember. Remember those who were enslaved. Remember the insidious legacy of that institution. And remember the stories that are often silenced. Even though this is fiction, it's deeply rooted in our collective history. Morrison challenges us to confront the trauma of the past so we can move forward with understanding, compassion, and a commitment to never letting these stories be forgotten. So, for book 6 in our GGBC reading journey, I encourage each and every one of you to read, reflect, and discuss on how these themes still resonate today. Think about the power of a mother's love, the burden of memory, and the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable adversity. It's a mirror that forces us as we deal with the truth. Wait, I'm sorry, because you know I'm reading the script. Let me go back because I refuse to record this again. It's a mirror that forces us to see the truth, even when it's difficult. See, I told you. And this is me scripted. Do you understand why I have a chat squad? Because, man, we'd be here all day. I cannot even. Okay, let's get through this. All right, friends, let's pick up our copy of Beloved and let's get reviewing. Prepare for a journey through love, loss, haunting memories, and powerful storytelling. This is one you won't soon forget.
Characters come to life in my mind, different tales that words design. A different realm I'm sure to find, with each line, stars align.
Okay, so are you ready for a deep dive into a book that's going to stay with you? Like, really stay with you, even after you finish the last page? Toni Morrison's Beloved.
Oh, absolutely. A powerful choice. It's one of those books that just gets under your skin, you know?
Right. And the thing is, it's not just the story itself, but how Morrison tells it. And we're lucky enough to have her own voice guiding us through this because we're working with a recording of her actually reviewing Beloved.
Wow, talk about insight. Hearing an author unpack their own work, that's gold.
I know, right? It's like getting this backstage pass to her process, her thoughts. It's really incredible. But okay, before we get too far, let's set the scene for those who might not be as familiar with the story. Beloved takes us back to post-Civil War America, the 1870s. Think about that for a second. Freedom's ringing, but what does that even mean for Black Americans just a few years out of slavery?
That's the heart of it, isn't it? The weight of history, of centuries of oppression, the trauma. It doesn't just vanish with a signature on a document.
Exactly. It's like this unspoken burden. And that's where we meet our main character, Seeth.
Seeth, oh, she carries so much.
She does. Living at 124 Bluestone Road. Seems normal enough, right? Until you learn it's haunted.
By the ghost of her baby daughter.
Yeah. And she named her Beloved. Chills, right?
But here's where it gets really interesting. This ghost, this beloved,
Yeah.
she's more than just a spooky presence. Think about it. Morrison takes it a step further. Beloved becomes this physical manifestation of the trauma Seeth carries.
Whoa. Okay, I get chills just thinking about it.
Right. It's about the impossible choices forced upon enslaved people. Seeth's story. It forces us to confront that brutal reality.
And then you've got Seeth's living family. like her daughter, Denver.
Denver, yeah.
Yeah.
She's the generation born after slavery, so she's carrying this weight, this legacy, but also this yearning for a future free from the ghosts of the past.
And then there's Paul D.,
Another survivor.
right, of the same brutal plantation, Sweet Home. So he and Seeth, they share this understanding, this bond forged in horror.
But his own trauma, it makes it a struggle to truly connect. Imagine, seeking solace and fearing the depth of shared wounds. It's a painful dance.
Ugh, my heart breaks just thinking about it. And then you have baby Suggs. She's Seeth's mother-in-law, and she's incredible.
Oh, baby Suggs. Talk about strength.
Right, she becomes this pillar of strength, not just for Seeds, but for the entire community.
She represents something so important. How Black communities, after being stripped of so much, they found resilience. Think about the role of the Black church, spiritual gatherings, spaces of resistance, you know?
Yeah, like even in the face of unimaginable darkness, there's this enduring hope.
Exactly.
Which brings us to Seeth's story. It's unimaginable. We're talking about a mother who made the unthinkable choice, killing her own baby daughter.
It's hard to even comprehend,
It's
right?
impossible. But Morrison, she doesn't shy away from that reality. And the thing is, Seeth did it to save her daughter from being dragged back into slavery.
It makes you question everything. I mean, imagine being backed into a corner where death seems like an act of mercy compared to the living hell of slavery. That's what Seeth was facing.
Right. It makes you think about the depths of a mother's love, but also the sheer terror of a system that was literally designed to break a person.
Absolutely.
And then, on top of it all, this act, as horrifying as it is, it kind of adds another layer to Beloved's presence, doesn't it? She's not just a ghost. She's this constant reminder of the unimaginable price that was paid for freedom.
A haunting reminder of the past.
Exactly. It's like this presence, this Beloved, she's forcing everyone to confront this really dark history.
Yeah, got it. It's like she's this living memory that some wounds, well, they don't stay buried.
Yeah.
And it makes you think, right, about silencing. Like whose stories get told and whose get pushed aside.
It's like what happens to Black women during and after slavery. Their pain, their lives. It's like history just tried to erase them.
That's it, exactly. But here's the thing. Morrison, she's brilliant.
Yeah.
She doesn't just tell a story.
Yeah.
She gives those voices a platform.
It's like we're not just reading about history. We're feeling it. Like right here with those individual lives.
And you know what? That's the power of fiction. We step into someone else's shoes, into Seeth's story, and we feel the weight of slavery in a way you never could from a textbook.
That's so true. It stays with you. It makes you wrestle with these really tough questions. Like, how does a mother even make that choice? I mean, the baby.
Yeah.
To understand what could bring someone to that point.
It's unimaginable. And you know what Morrison does? She challenges us to think about how history, even that far back, how it still shapes things today. Think about the way we teach about slavery, how some people want to downplay it, erase the brutality of it all, especially what Black women went through.
It's like we still have this urge to just look away from the parts of the story that make us uncomfortable.
It's human nature, I guess.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Morrison shows us that real healing. It means leaning into the hard stuff. It means acknowledging the truth, even when it's ugly.
So it's not just remembering. It's about confronting the legacy of it all and asking ourselves, what are we doing right now to make things right? Because it's not just Seeth, right? Each character in Beloved is dealing with their own trauma.
You got it. It's like this ripple effect. You see it with Denver, who wants a normal life so badly. But the past just hangs over everything. There's Paul D. He's built up these walls trying to outrun what happened at Sweet Home.
It's like their love story, Seeth and Paul D's. It becomes this reflection of the bigger story, you know, trying to build something good while carrying all that hurt from the past.
Exactly. And through it all, you have baby Suggs. She's just this unshakable force of good. She's lost so much, but she still preaches love, reminds everyone of their own worth, their own strength.
She's like the heart of the story, this powerful image of hope and the strength that comes from community.
Absolutely. And one thing that always strikes me about her is that she embodies this Black tradition of storytelling, of passing down wisdom, offering comfort. It's resistance, you know, in a world that wants to silence them.
That's a good point. And speaking of resistance, that brings us to another big theme in Beloved, memory. The idea that slavery, that trauma, it's not contained to the past. It echoes through generations. It's like she's saying we can't outrun it no matter how hard we try.
And the way she brings that to life, through Beloved, right? She becomes this physical reminder. The past is not done with you yet. You can't just shut the door on it.
And it's a reminder that those scars from slavery.
Yeah.
They run deep. We see it with how each character, how they react to Beloved, to that presence.
Like their reactions show us all the different faces of trauma.
Yeah.
Seats drowning in guilt, right? Denver's trapped in fear, isolated. And then there's Paul D. He built those walls up high because if he doesn't feel anything, it can't hurt him.
It's like this really powerful reminder that there's no right way to heal from something like that, especially something as deep, as heavy as slavery.
That's the thing about Beloved.
Right.
It's uncomfortable because
Yeah.
it doesn't give us easy answers.
Yeah.
There's no quick fix. It makes us confront the mess, History, it's not this neat little package. It spills over.
It's about understanding that freedom. True equality. It doesn't just happen overnight. It's a constant struggle. And it asks something of us, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It asks us to be compassionate with ourselves, but also with each other. Beloved shows us that healing. It takes time and it takes support. We need each other to do the hard work.
That makes me think of that part when the women in the community, they come together to help Seth. They drive Beloved away. It's this incredible moment, Collective action, female strength, all these things coming together.
Because that's the thing. Even in the middle of unimaginable trauma, there's still hope. Black women, they support each other. They share that strength. That's resilience right there.
It's like this reminder that even in the darkest times, the human spirit, it finds a way to survive, to find the light.
And we don't have to be alone in it. That's what gets me every time. Sharing our stories, being there for each other, that's how we heal.
That's beautiful. And a good place to maybe wrap up our deep dive into Beloved. So as we kind of step back from this, what's the one thing you want to leave our listeners with today from everything we've talked about?
That's a great question. I think for me, it goes back to what we were saying about truth, about confronting the hard stuff, because that's where growth happens, and that's what Beloved is all about. It's not just about the past. It's about how the past shapes us. It pushes us to ask, what are we going to do about it? How do we make things better?
It's about hearing the stories that haven't been told, understanding the weight of what happened, and realizing that we're all a part of making sure it doesn't happen again.
Exactly. And if Beloved can do that, if it can spark those conversations, then Morrison's work, it's going to keep mattering for a long, long time.
It's a powerful legacy.
Yeah.
So for our listeners out there, if you haven't had the chance to experience Beloved for yourself, I hope you do. Let her words sit with you, Let them challenge you, and then let them move you to action.
Well said.
Until next time.
Trapped in stories of another land. In this world, everything feels right. Candles flicker with a gentle glow. In the silence, let my mind flow. Turn the page, lose my place. Lose my place. In this story ends. Characters come to life in my mind. Living tales that words design. A different realm I'm sure to find. With each line, stars align. Whispers of blood in the air. In this moment, there's no care.